I take you back to the land of 2016, where I just graduated high school. The Summer Olympics had just happened. Brexit happened that year, and Suicide Squad came out, and man, was it hated. Let's get into what's not that bad about Suicide Squad. Welcome to another episode of It's Not That Bad with Jared, where we take positives of the DCEU and wait for everyone else to hate me for it. You guys know that I'm a liker of the DCEU, not a lover, but also not a hater. Hot take, okay? I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I have some great thoughts about it that I'm going to talk about some other time, but that's not why we're here. Suicide Squad was one of the most hated movies of 2016, and I finally get it. It was messy. The Joker was too gangster. The villain was Enchantress. And there were some really misplaced comedic timings.
Ames, if this man shoots me, I want you to kill him, and I want you to go clear my browser history.
And it felt a little too ambitious for the little time they had. DC has had a slew of mishaps during that time, and this was no exception. It got a 26% from critics, but perhaps the critics were a little too hateful because I enjoyed some aspects of it. My first point being the cast and characters. Now, it's a weird bunch, I'll admit, but it is a semi-memorable bunch. We have Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, don't know that guy, but Cara Delevingne as the villain Enchantress, but was also the part of the original Suicide Squad in the movie. El Diablo, Scott Eastwood, the actor, is somehow in it. David Harbour playing, from Stranger Things, playing some other guy. Common. And then Katana, the DC character, and then also Killer Croc. That is just a conglomeration of weirdness, but semi-memorable. I mean, who would have thought that we would ever see a cast like this together and characters like this hit the big screen? I know that the whole point of Suicide Squad is you're not supposed to see these weird conglomerations of characters on the screen, but you do now, because it's supposed to be weird. People didn't start doing this till, like, Avengers started. People started getting creative, and, doing team-ups and all that. But I do think they got a little too ambitious for this movie because it did feel like a heist movie without the heist, just the way that they introduced the characters, right? But still enjoyable. It was so weird seeing them all together. The second point, they had somewhat of a shared universe here. You got to see cameos from The Flash and then Batfleck, which was awesome. I love seeing Ben Affleck as the Batman because he was probably my favorite Batman apart from, Chris Nolan, Christian Bale. Third and last point, each character had such a tragic backstory, but also you didn't feel bad for them. You wanted them to succeed but felt no attachment to them, which is a positive thing because from there you're able to separate the person from the criminal and the things that made them turn criminal, which is the way we should treat this movie. Separate the movie from the studio, from the actual characters we love, and from the attachment we have from Warner and DC if we had any in the first place. And think of this as a movie with characters we don't know. And now you get a movie that is somewhat easier to bear. But you don't love. But you also, don't hate.